I wasn't. I might have just taken birth as a Baba's child. But, I'm sure many of you were there at that time. The essence of Murli is Brahmin life, a life of constant, unlimited happiness. Do you feel that? Brahmin life is a life of constant, unlimited happiness. Today, Bab Dada is looking at the gathering of his holy and happy swans. We are reading Sunday's Murli, right? Today, Sneha? Somebody's asking. Yeah, it is Saturday, but we'll be listening to the Sunday Murli today.
Yes, we will be discussing and journeying on the Sunday Murli. Yes.
Okay. Today, Bab Dada is looking at the gathering of his holy and happy swans. Do all of you always remain happy as well as holy? He gave us the title that we all are happy and holy swans. And next he's asking us a question. Do you always remain happy and holy? Holy means the visible form of purity is constantly revealed in the form of happiness, the connection. Holy means the visible form of purity is constantly revealed in the form of happiness. The inner purity gets revealed as happiness. If there isn't happiness, there is definitely some impurity, the connection between the two. Now, Baba gives us a list of impurities. What could it be? That is, what is impurity? That is, some thoughts or deeds are not correct. And this is why there isn't happiness. Level of thoughts and deeds, something is incorrect. Impurity does not just mean 5 vices. As we listen to the list, just let's check inside ourselves. Impurity does not just mean the 5 vices. For perfect souls, for those who are to become deity souls, to have incorrect, wasteful, or ordinary thoughts, words, and action is not complete purity. For whom? For those who have to be perfect souls, for those who are to become deity souls. That's our highest aim. For those souls, Baba is telling, to have incorrect, wasteful, ordinary thoughts, words, and action is not complete purity. You are coming close to your perfect stage. As we come closer, Baba is removing all the subtle things that shouldn't be there. Therefore, according to the present time, let there be no wasteful or ordinary actions. No waste or no ordinary action. We might be just picking up a bottle from here and keeping it there. Simple action looks ordinary, but the state of mind should be so elevated. So no waste and no ordinary action. There has to be checking, and what comes with checking? Changing. There has to be checking and changing in this too. The more powerful and elevated your thoughts, words, and actions are, the more you will experience the sparkle of happiness and the intoxication of being fortunate. You're seeing the link? Baba first said we are holy swans and a happy swan. Where there is purity, that gets revealed as happiness. The causes of happiness to disappear is impurity. And he gave us the list of impurity. And now Baba is going back to that happiness. When will that sparkle of, it was a very beautiful word in Hindi. jhalak and falak, the sparkle of happiness and the intoxication of being fortunate will come when there is elevated thoughts, words, and action. And also give that experience to others. When our thoughts are that way, Baba saying we'll experience and also give that experience to others. Bab Dada was checking these two things in all the children. To what extent have you imbibed purity? To what extent is there still anything wasteful or ordinary? It's taking the thermometer of purity and checking to what level have I imbibed purity? To what extent is there still anything wasteful or ordinary? And to what extent do you have spiritual happiness? Imperishable happiness and inner happiness. 3 levels of happiness. Spiritual happiness, imperishable happiness, and inner happiness. The aim of all the Brahmin children who adopt this Brahmin life is, why did we all become Brahmins? The aim of all the Brahmin children who adopt this Brahmin life is to remain constantly happy. You have become Brahmins in order to lead a life of happiness. That's why we became Brahmins, right? To lead that life of happiness. You have not become Brahmins to make effort laboriously or always to be experiencing one form of upheaval or another. Sometimes it's upheaval, sometimes I'm going down. We didn't become Brahmins for that. Why did we become Brahmins? To experience constant happiness. To check the source of happiness. That's why Baba said spiritual, imperishable, and inner happiness. You have become Brahmins in order to attain spiritual, inner happiness and super sensuous joy, which cannot be attained throughout the rest of the whole cycle. It's only now we can taste it, feel it, and attain it. However, you have to check that your happiness is not based. Now, this is subtle checking Baba is asking us to do. You have to check that your happiness is not based on any facility. Suddenly the Zoom connection goes away and my happiness goes down. So subtle checking. I'm not able to log in. I'm having trouble. State of happiness to still stay constant is not based on any facility, limited attainment, temporary success, respect or glory, मान शान in Hindi, or limited desires of the mind you have received, or because you like a particular person, place, or possession. Long list. Right? Quickly we'll revise what were the things. My happiness is not based on any facility, limited attainment, temporary success, respect or glory, or limited desires of the mind that you have received, or because of any person, place, or possession. Check that your happiness is not based on your personal likings. The happiness based on those things is not real happiness. Real happiness, unreal happiness. It is not imperishable happiness. If the support shakes, your happiness also shakes. If it's based on any of these things, if that shakes, the happiness also shakes. You have not become Brahmins to attain that sort of happiness. We have not become Brahmins for that. If the support shakes, even people of the world have happiness based on temporary attainments. Their slogan is, eat, drink, and be merry. Khao, piyo, mauj karo. Eat, drink, and be merry. However, when that temporary support ends, their happiness also ends. So went to a restaurant or saw a nice movie, it's there till that time and then it disappears. In Brahman life too, if you experience happiness based on those supports, then what is the difference? Big question. Then what is the difference? You have become the children of the ocean of happiness, and you are, therefore, those who flow with the waves of happiness in every thought and at every second. You're in that ocean of happiness. LA has lots of beaches, right? You're in that ocean of happiness and that wave, every thought and every second. You are constant treasures of happiness. Ocean means unlimited. So you have a treasure of happiness. This is called being a holy and a happy swan. Bab Dada was seeing that your aim is to have constant inner happiness without any limited support. However, that is my aim, that's my destination. I want to have that constant happiness without any support. However, some children move away from their aim and instead become trapped in small side streets of limited attainments. This is why they become distant from their aim, that is, from their destination. They leave the highway and become trapped in the side streets. I need to check, am I in the highway? Stay on the highway. Not to get trapped in the side streets. They leave their aim of happiness and chase after limited happiness. I run behind it. Means my intellect goes towards it. Chase. If today their name is glorified or their work is accomplished and their desires are fulfilled, then they're happy. If they attain something they like or their thoughts are fulfilled and their desires are fulfilled, then they're happy. If this happens, I'm happy. If that happens, I'm happy. Based on things. If there is something lacking, even slightly, they become stuck and their aim remains on one side. Their aim becomes limited and they therefore step away from unlimited, imperishable happiness. So Bab Dada was asking. What was Baba asking? Is this why you became Brahmins? I need to ask myself, why did I become a Brahmin? Baba is asking all of us, this is why you become a Brahmin? You have become Brahmins? Is this why you have adopted this spiritual life? That Baba is telling, that is an ordinary life. No, to chase behind limited happiness, Baba is saying that's an ordinary life. That is not called an elevated life. It's nice to revisit, why am I a Brahmin? Why did I choose this path? I want to enjoy this life in a happiness way. So where is it I'm getting stuck? Where is my happiness disappearing? Baba is bringing back what is our aim. No matter what work you do, no matter how big the service task that is, you're carrying out. You might be doing very big service task. Anything that brings you down from attaining inner happiness, spiritual pleasures, and unlimited happiness, that is anything that brings you into the limited. That is, if today there is pleasure and tomorrow there is confusion, today there is happiness and tomorrow you're put into a turmoil. If it deprives you of happiness, whatever big task it could be, whatever you're carrying out, whatever work you're doing, But if it is depriving me of my happiness, underline this line, Baba is telling, then put aside that service, but do not let go of your happiness. Let go of the service, but do not let go of your happiness. Baba is using the word service, but it could be anything, right? Real service always gives you the experience of an unlimited stage and unlimited happiness. If there isn't this experience, then that service is mixed. That is not real service. Baba is telling, always keep the aim of experiencing self-progress. Am I progressing every day? Baba is saying, keep the aim of self-progress. Attainment for the self. Contentment and greatness by doing service. Where there is the greatness of contentment, santushtatam, that contentment should be there. Where there is the greatness of contentment, there will be the experience of imperishable attainment. In English, they say, right, peace will beget peace, love will beget love. And to get that imperishable attainment, what should I be doing? Have that greatness of contentment. Service means to enable the flower garden to flourish. What a beautiful description, flower garden to flourish. Service means to experience the flower garden and not to become trapped in the jungle of thorns. Some lack of attainment, lack of pleasure, or confusion in the mind. To experience pleasure one moment and to become confused the next. Baba is telling these are thorns. To step away from these thorns means to experience unlimited happiness. When you go to a flower garden, you will see beautiful flowers and there are thorns too. So we don't touch that, right? So Baba is saying, step away from those thorns. No matter what happens, even if you have to renounce some limited attainment, even if you have to renounce many things, let go of those things. First, Baba said, let go of service, but don't let go of your happiness. And Baba is telling, if you have to renounce something little, if you have to renounce many things, let go of those things, but do not let go of your happiness. Do not step away from the aim with which you came here. Carry out the subtle checking. We all will be our own personal checkers and see, what is it that will take my happiness away? You are happy. You make sure that you do not consider happiness based on temporary attainments to be your happiness. Check that you do not consider any sightseeings to be your destination. For sightseeings can be very attractive. That's how Maya comes, that golden deer. Baba is telling, it can look very attractive. However, to reach your destination means to claim a right to the unlimited kingdom. You don't want that just golden deer. You want the unlimited kingdom. Those who step aside from their destination cannot claim a right to the kingdom of the world. They cannot even become part of the royal family. Forget about getting the kingdom. Baba is saying they can't become part of the royal family. Therefore, what do? Therefore, always keep your aim and destination in your awareness. In Hindi, there's 3 words. Yad, Yog, Yatra. Yad is remembrance, yoga, and Yatra means a pilgrimage. And when we are on a pilgrimage, we'll always have our destination in front. We are going there, we are going there. We don't go on the sightseeings. So Baba is bringing our attention. It will be very attractive, but don't go on the sightseeings. Keep your aim and destination in your awareness. Ask yourself, while moving along, I haven't gone into any limited streets, have I? The happiness of temporary attainment is not making you step away from the fortune of eternal happiness, is it? You are not those who are happy with just a little, are you? Not happy with just a little, are you? You're not just pleasing yourself, thinking, whatever I am, however I am fine. I am happy. Are you? The sign of imperishable happiness is, how do I know I have imperishable happiness? Is that you will definitely, constantly be attaining blessings of happiness from others. Very subtle point. What will we be attaining? We will definitely, constantly be attaining blessings of happiness from others. The blessings of love from Bap Dada and the seniors will give you the experience of internally moving along in the ocean of alokik and spiritual happiness. So one is blessings from others, and then blessings of love from Bap Dada and seniors. Right? And what will that blessings give us? An experience of internally moving along in an ocean of alokik and spiritual happiness. I'm sure all of us have experienced, like that blessing when we receive from Baba. Out of carelessness, do not think. Now, how Maya comes. Out of carelessness, do not think, I am fine, but others don't know me. And Baba is always, he uses this analogy. Can the light of the sun remain hidden? The fragrance of truth can never end. If you have one incense stick or a perfume, open the bottle and keep it in one corner. As soon as somebody walks in, they'll say, there is fragrance. It's hidden, but they will smell it. So Baba is asking, the fragrance of truth can never end. It cannot remain hidden. Therefore, never allow yourselves to be deceived. What is the deceivement? Oh, I am fine. They don't know me. Baba is saying, never allow yourselves to be deceived. Make this lesson firm. First is your unlimited, imperishable happiness, and next is anything else. First is our imperishable, unlimited happiness. Unlimited happiness will automatically enable you to experience the elevated fortune of service, of everyone's love, and the fortune of receiving imperishable respect from everyone. Love, blessing, respect from everyone, from Baba, from seniors. What else do we need? Those who are constantly happy are fortunate. They easily receive all attainments without effort. If you experience the spiritual journey is effortless, these are the signs. Without any desire and without saying anything. Have you made this lesson firm? Bab Dada is seeing why you have come. Why you have come, where you have to go, where you have to go to, and where you're going. Why did I come here? And where do I have to go? And where am I going? Baba is observing all these three aspects. If you have renounced the limited, but are still going into the limited, it's very subtle. We leave from Kinnari, I become BK Kinnari. And in that BK Kinnari, I get stuck into that limitedness, which was there in the Lokik world. Then there is no difference. So that's what Baba is saying. You have renounced the limited, but you're still going into the limited. Then when will you experience the unlimited? Bab Dada has love for you children. You would not call it mercy because you're not beggars. You are the children of the bestower and the bestower of fortune. Mercy is for those who are sorrowful. You are embodiments of, who are we today? Embodiments of happiness. Children of the bestower of happiness. Do you now understand what you have to do? Do you now understand what you have to do? This year, Bab Dada is repeatedly drawing your attention to various things. This year is especially being given to pay attention to the self. Especially in this lockdown and limited movement, everyone is definitely paying attention to the self. People of the world simply say, eat, drink, and be merry. However, Bab Dada says, eat and serve others. It's nice in Hindi, khao or khilao means feed others as well, serve others. Stay in pleasure and bring pleasure to others. Acha, then Baba is giving love and remembrances to those who constantly stay. Now feel as you listen to this. To those who constantly stay in imperishable and unlimited happiness. To those who experience the fortune of happiness in every act. To those who distribute the treasure of happiness to everyone. To those who always spread the fragrance of happiness. To those who always move along with waves of zeal and enthusiasm, of happiness. To those who constantly maintain their sparkle and intoxication. To the elevated souls who attain the elevated aim. Bab Dada's love, remembrance, and namaste to keep you constantly holy and happy. What a blessing. And then Baba goes on to meet the groups. I feel it's such a fortune. In 1986, Baba stayed the whole night. And again, then in the end, he says good morning the next day. So Baba is meeting the first group. Baba is telling, whilst living with your families, you are always detached and loving to the Father. Are you not? Everybody is living at home, working from home, staying home. Nice checkpoint. How are we staying? While living with your families, you're always detached and loving to the Father. Are you not? You are never attached to your families, are you? No, family is not just the people we share the DNA. It's all the loved ones where we feel that belongingness, right? So we're not attached to your families, are you? If there is attachment to anyone, that becomes an obstacle in your life for all time. Key point. If there is attachment to even one, Baba is saying that will become an obstacle in your life for all time. Therefore, remain constantly free from obstacle and continue to move forward. Become Angad. It's a character in mythology. Become Angad as in the previous cycle and remain unshakable and immovable. Nobody could shake his foot. Means so firm, determined. What speciality is Angad shown to have? His intellect had such faith that no one could even shake his foot. An ordinary man just put his feet on the road, but that faith in the intellect was so strong that no one could shake him. Maya will come in various ways to try and make your faith in the form of your foot shake. However, Maya may shake, but the foot of your faith must not shake. Who should shake? Maya may shake, but our faith, like the foot of our faith, should not shake. How powerful. Maya surrenders herself to you. You will not surrender to her, will you? Surrender yourself to? We're not going to surrender to Maya. So where do we surrender? Surrender yourself to the Father, not to Maya. Those whose intellects have such faith always remain carefree. This is a sign. Where there is faith, carefree. Not careless, carefree. If there is the slightest worry, chinta, if there is the slightest worry, then faith is lacking. When there is sometimes the slightest worry about something, the reason for that is definitely a lack of faith in something or other. Whether it is the lack of faith in drama, lack of faith in oneself, you cannot remain carefree. We have all our levels of faith, right? Faith in self, faith in Baba, faith in drama, faith in family, faith in time, so many. So what Baba is focusing on, if there is lack of faith in drama, or if there is lack of faith in oneself, or a lack of faith in the Father. If there is the slightest lack of faith in any one of the three types of faith, you cannot remain carefree. The biggest illness is not the one which is currently going on. It'll come, it'll go. The biggest illness is worry. Chinta, worry. Even doctors don't have any cure for the illness of worry. They might give you sleeping pills and put you to sleep temporarily. We lose that consciousness, so we go to sleep and we don't think about it. But they will not be able to cure your illness for all time. The more those with worry run after some attainment, the more that attainment runs ahead of them. Therefore, always let the foot of your faith remain unshakable. You all are Angads, holy swans, happy swans, and Angad. The foot means constantly to have one strength and one support. In Hindi, it rhymes, ek bal, ek bharosa. One strength, one support. Whether you call it strength or faith, it is the same thing. Victory for the children whose intellects have such faith is guaranteed. Then Baba goes to meet the second group. That last line is so nice. Victory for the children whose intellect have such faith is guaranteed. Baba is going on to say, do you always surrender yourself to the Father? You are the ones who will fulfill the promise you made on the path of devotion. Are you not? I was asking, you are the one who will fulfill your promise that you made on the path of devotion. Are you not? What did you promise? Most of us didn't even do devotion in this birth. So Baba is reminding us, what did you promise? That you will always surrender yourself to Him. To surrender means To surrender means to remain constantly surrendered and become powerful. So, have you surrendered or are you going to surrender? To surrender means, this is a beautiful line, nothing is mine. Nothing is mine. Such a shift in that awareness. To surrender means nothing is mine. The consciousness of mine finishes. Awareness, the consciousness, mera, mine, finishes. Even the body is not mine. So do you ever become body conscious? It is when you have the consciousness of mind that there is body consciousness. To remain beyond even this consciousness means to surrender. Therefore, continue to finish the consciousness of mind for all time. Continue to experience everything as yours. It's not mine, yours. In Hindi, it's tera. Baba, it's yours. The more experienced you become, the more you become an embodiment of authority. Such ones can never be deceived. They cannot experience waves of sorrow. So always continue to relate stories of your experience to everyone. An experienced soul attains greater success in short time. Acha? Then as Baba stayed the whole night, and then at the time of farewell, giving love and remembrance for the 14th of January. So it's a festival called Makar Shankranti. It's the festival of kite flying. So Baba is talking about the festival in a very, the spiritual significance of it. People have marked the significance of this day by always eating and serving food to others. And there's a festival, that's what we do, right? We make a lot of things to eat and we share. So Baba is telling the significance of the day by always eating and serving food to others. They eat something and they serve others something. They either donate sesame seeds or eat them. So this is the ritual that happens on that festival. You all might have seen sesame seeds, right? So Baba is telling, they either donate sesame seeds or eat them. Sesame seeds are very tiny points. If you look at them, they're like tiny points. When something happens, and it may be something very minor, they say that it is like a sesame seed. It's as small as a sesame seed. Sometimes Baba gives the analogy of a mustard seed. Today, because of that festival, Baba is using that analogy. When something happens, people say, right, it is like a sesame seed. If it is big, it is said to be like a mountain. So, there is a great difference between a mountain and a sesame seed. Significance is given to sesame seeds because you become extremely subtle points. It is when you become point form that you become kites in the flying stage. Become light point. Baba says you can fly, you can have the flying stage of a kite. So sesame seeds also have significance. Sesame seeds are always mixed together with something sweet. Sesame seeds are never eaten by themselves. Either with jaggery or sugar, they mix and make nice tolis. You don't eat them as such. So Baba is telling they're never eaten by themselves. Sweetness is a sign of bringing them together with love. When something sweet is mixed with the seeds, you enjoy them. We all like the toli, sesame seeds, toli you get. Okay. If you were to eat the sesame seeds by themselves, you would find them bitter. But when something sweet is mixed with them, they are very good. So, what is Baba trying to tell us? So, when you souls come into a relationship with sweetness, when you have that love, you become elevated. It's never about the other. Baba's saying when we come in relationship with that sweetness, when you have that love, you become elevated. So this is a memorial of collective sweetness. There is a symbol for that too. So always bring the power of the gathering into yourselves. On the basis of sweetness, become a point form. How do I become a point? Based on the sweetness. On the basis of sweetness, become a point form and be a kite and fly in the flying stage. That is the significance of this day. So to celebrate means to become. You become this, whereas those people simply celebrate it for a short time. To donate here means it's a ritual, they exchange, they give some things on that festival. I don't remember, it's been a long time as a child we did that festival. So there must be some kind of a donation they do. To donate here means to donate whatever weakness you have. Just consider it to be something minor and donate it. So even if it is a big weakness in mind, so Baba is saying, consider it to be minor, like a sesame seed, and donate it. Just consider it to be something minor and donate it. Consider it to be like a sesame seed and give it away. Do not consider it to be something major and think, I have to renounce it. I have to give it away. No, this is not the method. Baba is saying, no. Donate it whilst considering it to be something as small as a sesame seed. It's easy to donate sesame seeds. Baba is saying, make it that small and give it away. Consider it to be something minor and give it away happily. This is the significance of donating. Do you understand? Always be loving. Always remain part of the gathering. And always consider something major to be something minor and finish it. It's a very big skill to make big things small. Something major to be something minor and finish it by burning it in a fire. That is the significance. So you have celebrated, have you not? You have lit the fire of determined action. People especially light a fire on this day. So this is the day for transforming sanskars. Shankranti, Baba is using, this is the day for transforming sanskars. They call it Shankranti and you call it the day of transforming sanskars. Acha, love, remembrance and good morning to everyone for remaining constantly successful with love and the power of the gathering. Blessing for the day. May you constantly stay in the awareness of God and your fortune. May you constantly stay in the awareness of God and your fortune, two things, and become a most elevated, fortunate soul. May you constantly stay in the awareness of God and your fortune and become a most elevated, fortunate soul. At the confluence age, God serves his children in the living form. You feel it? God is serving his children Should I see the chat messages? Someone is asking for an explanation. Or we go back in the end?
After Murli and traffic control, we can discuss the questions. Yeah.
Sure. On the path of devotion, everyone serves God, but here, God Himself serves you, living idols. What a fortune. Get goose pimples just reading this. On the path of devotion, everyone serves God, but here, God Himself serves you, living idols. He awakens you at Amrit Vela, offers both to you, and puts you to sleep. So whatever act from morning till night, we're going to feel that Baba is doing that for us. Here it's called living idols, but in Hindi, the word was Thakur, they use. Those who go to sleep with the record, song played at night, and those who awaken to the record, there's an Amrit Vela song. We Brahmins are especially loved and are the most elevated, fortunate souls. Constantly continue to swing in the happiness of this fortune. Simply become those who are especially loved by the Father, not by Maya. Those who are loved by Maya play a lot of childish games. It's translated as childish games. In Hindi, it's like Naz Nakre, they have their own little temperaments. Slogan. To give the experience of all attainments with your cheerful face is real service. What is real service? To give the experience of all attainments with your cheerful face is real service. How deep? All attainments, and it's being revealed and experienced through your face. That is real service. Cha, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. We will do traffic control, and after that, Sister Kinnari, you can answer the questions, and also some personal sharing from your end will be great. Sure.
Om Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti. अंतर मन में ज्योति जगा लो, होगा दूर अंधेरा. शिव का कर लो ध्यान, आ रहा पावन पुण्य सवेरा. से आए, अपने आप को जानो. राजयोग के द्वारा अपना परम पिता पहचानो. इसी राजपथ पर चलकर पालो अपना बसेरा. तुम हो आत्मा तन से न्यारे, परमात्मा अंधेरा अंतर मन में ज्योति जगा लो होगा दूर अंधेरा ओम शांति ओम शांति ओम शांति
Okay, sister, so there's a question on, can you give some explanation of Angad, what Baba spoke about in the Murli?
Please, everyone can turn your video. Everyone, please turn your video. There were two questions. One was Angat and another was about sesame seed. You know, so why Baba is giving that example.
Yeah, you are unmuted.
Thank you. Om Shanti. So beautiful to see each one's eyes sparkling. Om Shanti, Gita Didi. Nice to see you. Very nice. So Angad. So Angad is a character in mythology, and he used to be a devotee of Ram. And on one day, he's putting his foot on this, like blocking the road, and Ravan is passing, or something of that sort. And Ravan, with his arrogance, says, move your feet from this road. This is my path. And Angad says, well, you can move it for yourself. And he tries to move it, and nobody is able to move his foot. So just an analogy, it's a story in mythology, because he's lost in the remembrance of Ram. So here Baba was talking about our faith on those three aspects: faith in the self, faith in drama, faith in Baba. And I think a couple of weeks back, Baba shared more in detail about even faith in time, faith in family. And when that faith is there, there is no doubt, is this possible or not? Can I do this or not? What will happen tomorrow? We're all in lockdown. Many subtle, not subtle, small things and big thoughts can emerge. But Baba said, stay unshakable. Have that faith. What is that faith? What is that awareness do I need to have? Drama is beneficial. Baba is with me. Nothing unfortunate can happen. Yes, I need to take my precautions. I need to take whatever care I need to take. But there is no shake in the stage. As Baba said, anything may happen, but don't lose your imperishable happiness. That's the thought that I'm getting for Angad. To stay stable, no matter what happens today, I will not let go of my happiness, that imperishable spiritual inner happiness that I've been given. And the second one was sesame seeds, right? Baba was giving that analogy of making something major into minor and letting it go. Making big things small. It's really in our hands, or in my own perspective, how do I look at it? For some people, a little bit of salt is more or salt is less. And if the dish is a little messed up, the whole stage can go. I'll tell you what happened last week. Last Sunday was Mother's Day. So it was the young Kumaris, we said, okay, we will do. Just a few of us. We said, we will do the cooking. With a lot of love, a lot of zeal and enthusiasm. We wanted to make a very, very wonderful, spinach and paneer, that sabzi. And we had frozen spinach in the freezer. And along with that, there was methi, fenugreek leaves, and there was also cilantro leaves. All were cut. And when you look at the freezer, they all look the same. So we assumed that we are taking out spinach, but we took out something else. And when it was all cooked and we had just about to taste, we're like, why is this so bitter? So we realized we didn't put spinach in it, but we had put methi, which is the fenugreek leaves. And one person's stage went up and down and like, oh my God, we just really ruined this. There were others who said, full stop. Maybe this wasn't drama. Okay, now let's think how we can fix this. So they were looking at the recipe and different things. We can put heavy cream, whatever. It's the same stimulus, but how is my response? Am I making that small incident big? When I say making it big means I lose my happiness, or making even a big thing small. That is one which Baba was mentioning. And for sesame seeds to let it go, when I think I have this weakness, it's too much, it's too hard for me to let go of it. To make it light, Baba said, think it to be a small thing, very minute, and let it go. Then it's easy. When something, if you have to donate a penny, you won't think about donating a penny. $1,000, maybe we will think, but one penny, yeah, sure, take it. So to make it light, not to have that heaviness of that big thing to remove, Baba was giving that analogy of sesame seed. Any other thoughts? Anybody wants to add?
Yeah, there is another question. So that's, can we be happy even if some loss of loved one happens?
Good question. When I understand the truth, when I understand the bigger perspective, what is the bigger perspective? That we all are travelers, right? We all are on a journey. The traveler, I, the being, I'm eternal. And we're all actors. I've taken this costume, played this role, and when I have played this role, the story will end. I will come, change the costume, take another costume. Right? Today I'm in a costume of Kinnari. After some years or days, weeks, I don't know, the role of that Kinnari will finish. I will leave the costume, take another. What I understand is the costume is left behind. The character is gone, but the traveler, the being is eternal. My loved one, when I say my loved one never dies. My loved one is eternal. My loved one is imperishable. They change their costume. When that awareness is there, you will not feel a missing. You will remember their virtues, you will remember their qualities, and it's a celebration. Say, oh, they are playing a different role now. No? When you have that awareness, and secondly, one is that, and secondly, whatever thought that we create, it has vibrations, right? So whether we are, I'm on East Coast, West Coast, we feel each other, even through the Zoom. In similar way, no matter whether the soul is in this costume or change their costume, every thought will have that vibration which they will feel. So to create that loveful vibration to the soul that has departed as well. Yeah. Any other thoughts? Any questions?
So there are no more questions, but we would really like to listen to your sharing.
Sure. Where do we start? One moment. 15 minutes. You want to take?
No, I have to reboot the whole thing once.
Sorry for that. and we talk about experience, many things that come in mind. But I will just share the current journey, the current churning or reflection that is going on. I happened to be to Madhuban after 2.5 years, and I got to spend 3.5 days in Mount Abu. Many of you might have gone to our Mount Abu, our headquarters. It's our sweet home because of the situation. And we had just arrived. We had the meeting in Om Shanti Bhavan and all those beautiful memories as a child. Oh, Baba, this is where I first met you. And the thought was like, is it going to be my last meeting in Om Shanti Bhavan? You know, that thought was coming. But anyway, apart from that, in 3.5 days, we got the notice that there's going to be lockdown, the flights are going to be canceled, you have to leave. And the first thought was like, I just came. Why do you want me to leave? I don't want to go. I don't want to go. You know, that battle was going between me and him. I don't want to leave. This is not fair. Amrit Vela finished, Murli finished. I'm like, no, I don't want to go. And after Murli class, I got a phone call from my main instrument, that's Sister Dolly, that we were able to shift your flights, because when I called my agent, there were no flights available. But she did something and she got me a flight to come back. And I was like, why did this happen? I could have just stayed in Bharat. This is my home country. I could just stay there. That morning, Sister Jayanti was meeting all the people who were leaving that day. This is on 21st of March. They were leaving that day. So I also happened to go. And all the people from UK, they had to spend a lot of money to change their date, their time, and all those things. And she gave Toli to everyone, and she gave blessing card to everyone. And I still carry my blessing card with me because it changed my stage in a second. And Baba said, your foundation of faith is unshakable. Your faith in the self, in the Father, in the drama, and in the family is the basis for your victory. And when I read this, I said, okay, I got my answer. I just need to have faith. This is what is beneficial. And Baba knows my plan. Baba knows what is going to be beneficial. And full stop. In a second, full stop. There was no other thoughts. And it was almost like the last, just one day before all the flights were closed and we were coming. And as I was in transit, I realized because we are coming back from India, we have to stay in 14 days of quarantine, self-quarantine. Right? And I was wondering, and the first thought that came was, Baba, I always wanted to experience that 14 years of tapasya, of the yajna which they had. And I work as well, and I'm at the center. So even if I had planned it out, I would have got 1 day holiday. And even if I do anything, maybe a weekend I would get off. But to get 14 days, it's a lottery. And it really was like a lift and a gift. You see this room, this is almost a little bigger than this was the room with a bathroom, and there was no window. There's a window at a distance. And many people were thinking, oh my God, 14 days, you're just going to be there. You won't come out. You are not going to see anybody. And there was no thought at all, because I knew this was Baba's plan. And I was like, and as every day was going, and I was experiencing this to be, God, this 14 days is less. There is so much of things to enjoy, to read, to experience with Baba. And literally, Baba took care of me so well. Whatever I wanted to experience, to have that intimate heart to heart, you know, when you have no seva, no job, nothing on your agenda. It's just you and Baba. And I had this book, I'm sure you have it as well. It's called Real Gold. It's a small collection of classes from Dadi Gulzar. It's called Words of Wisdom by Dadi Gulzar. And I started from the back, very small snippets. And if you just read one, and I would just get lost in it. Dadi would share the experience of her beginning period and what yoga means, what silence means, and to go into that experience of it. So that was really, really profound. And of course, I had my laptop. So I found a YouTube channel where all Baba's Murli was from 1986 till current. And there was one playlist which was called Vardani Bab Dada, where Bab Dada was, this is in 1988, I think. I was there in Shantivan. Baba had taken a walk all around the hall. Children are seated and Baba came to you. And to see that video, I was getting goosebumps as Baba is coming, giving that blessing, and to really feel Baba is with me here now. And I had got a list of all the drills now, what we are doing in United Yoga. So every half an hour, I would play one drill, go into that experience. But the realization was to be a point. As is the first lesson, so is the last lesson we say. But what is the difference between the two? From knowing to being, to experiencing it, to closing that gap was the difference. So it's become so profound because, for a tree also, it starts with a point, and the journey before it leaves behind lots of points, seeds behind. To become a point, to be essenseful. And even an atom, the more, I don't know if you all know about quantum physics. If anything's solid, like just a hand, it looks solid, right? But when you go to the microscopic, nanoscopic, electronic level, it is a bunch of cells packed together. And when you go inside a cell, it is hollow. It's hollow. Means it's kind of empty with a single dot inside. It's a bunch of hollowness. It's a dot. And the more minute that we go, the more powerful it is. So to practice being the point. And the name of the book is Real Gold, Dadi Gulzar. It's words of wisdom from Dadi Gulzar. It's a small book, but very, very powerful. I definitely recommend that. So that has been so far my practice of being a point, putting a point, seeing the point. In English they say, what's the point? So really not to give weightage to anything that takes me away from my destination. As Baba said, nothing is worth losing my happiness. I used to be very sensitive. When somebody would say anything to me, I would lose my happiness, my mood would go down, I would just wilt. But one day I had this realization, what is of value? What is important? Happiness. Nothing is worth losing my happiness. People will say, people will praise, people will defame. But I need to be answerable to him. I need to be truthful to myself. Is it aligned with what Baba is saying? That is important. I see a lot of chat messages I didn't read. Is there anything that we need to pause, Sneha?
Okay, like we will explain them. You can share your experience. Yeah.
Theek hai, Didi.
You all know that Kinnari Ben is a doctor. And so she has many, many beautiful stories about that also.
As of now, I'm working as a research coordinator in cardiology. So for currently, not going to the hospital because of the situation. So we've been working remotely, but anytime they can call. So mentally prepared. If I have to go, that means I can't stay at the center because we have elderly people and their immunity will be at risk. So we'll have to move to something else. But I've left it to Baba and drama, whatever it is, we'll look at it at that time. But initially, when I used to be in cardiology in the ICU, and there had been instances where souls will leave the body, right? And you have to do CPR, like the chest compressions when they are about to leave. This was beginning, and I was also in a lot of bondage from my Lokik family. I can't say bondage anymore now because they're very cooperative and supportive. So when I would do any CPR and when the soul would have left the body, there would be a lot of as if my energy would have drained. And I used to wonder, why is this draining feeling that I'm having? That's when somebody said that when the soul is departing, it'll kind of, it's looking for that strength, looking for that energy, and it takes it away, kind of draws it from you, you the being. So I, the being, have to be very, very powerful, strong with Baba. So that that's when that realization happened, that we all Baba's children. That is just one soul to soul. But at this time, when there are so many souls in need, so many souls who are, somebody was asking about the loved ones, and here we have thousands of people who are even devoid of seeing their loved ones in their hospital when they're ill. So to really hold that power, that strength, and that love with Baba, and to give that vibrations, because first I need to protect my energy. I cannot allow myself, my immunity of the soul to reduce. I need to stay strong. And we call immunity of the body, we build a muscle of the body by exercising, eating right, sleeping right. In the same way, for immunity of my soul to be strong, I need to practice every day. I need to be, not just every day, consistently. I cannot allow any weak thought to come. And when I do it again and again, it'll take time. It will take time, but it will slowly build. It'll slowly build. Maybe I was losing my peace for 10 minutes or an hour. Slowly it'll reduce. Then you'll become strong. When I say strong, you're not being without any feeling. You are aware of it, but no effect of that negative on you. Rather, you will put an effect on them. Yeah, so that kind of a practice is necessary and important. And when we make Bhog, the thought comes these days that there are many souls who are not able to have access to the food grains. In this country, we are blessed in many ways, but they're not in all over the world. So when we offer Bhog to Baba and when we feed to Baba, just hold that thought. Baba, let every soul, let there be content. Let them know that in Hindi we use trupt. Let the soul be fed. Let them be comforted. Let there be no hunger. You can think of the whole global family and serve as well. I'm looking at the time, Didi. So shall I stop now?
Yeah, sister, you can do a guided meditation and we can close after that.
Sure. Let's sit comfortably. And Baba was talking about two things, a holy swan and a happy swan. In a second, let's become a point as a sesame seed. A seed which is pure and happy. It's happy because I have the ocean of happiness with me. I'm happy because God Himself is sustaining me. How fortunate are we that God wakes us up, takes care of us, feeds us, and also puts us back to sleep. We are the fortunate ones. In the whole cycle, we'll find elevated souls, pure souls, deity souls, but will not find the Supreme Soul. It's only now that we can have the direct connection, relation, and experience of Baba. He's come for me. Let me surrender anything big or small to him. Baba, I am yours. I am yours. Just feel that you belong to Baba only and no one else. Om Shanti.
Thank you so much, Sister Kinnari. I'll request all family members to wave at Sister now. So please turn on your videos and wave at Sister Kinnari.
Thank you, everyone. It was really a pleasure to be with all of you. And thank you, Didi.
Om Shanti. Thank you.
Shanti.
Om Shanti, and very nice all the question answer. So we all will practice, and how Kinnari Ben really gave her experience that whatever you think, Baba can really, according to your the goodness, Baba will fulfill the wish. So have the unlimited wish, not just the limited, that everyone can got the benefits. So do not forget, this is not the family in this birth, but we took 84 times birth and all the 84 births, families, friends, relatives. So we have to serve everyone. So keep your attitude unlimited, and then you can see how much good wishes you will receive from everyone. Om Shanti. Kinnari Ben,
Didi.
see you again. Yeah. Om Shanti. So we are now playing the meditations and then we'll start. But before that, I like to say tomorrow, you all can be present at 6 a.m. We have a biggest lottery, Rajubai from Madhuban, Murli department. He's the one who is conducting class tomorrow again. And especially he's conducting about meditation. So nobody had the question that my meditation is not good. I don't know how to do it, but you can really can got benefits tomorrow. So be present at 6 and we will meditate until when he comes and he will guide us. So